When you stay at lots of hotels during a road trip, especially brands like Hampton, you eventually get used to a certain level of standardization. And honestly, that consistency is part of why I like those brands. But every once in a while, it's really refreshing to stay somewhere that feels completely different. And that's exactly what the Canvas Moncton, which is part of Hilton's Tapestry Collection, felt like to me. I only stayed there for one night while passing through Moncton, New Brunswick, but after seeing the room, I wish I could have stayed longer. Thanks to the Hilton Diamond status, I received a complimentary upgrade to a King Junior suite with balcony. And this turned out to be one of the nicest boutique-style Hiltons I've ever seen. The hotel already starts feeling different the moment you check in. Even the room key cards have their own custom design instead of the usual generic Hilton cards, which immediately gives the place a more individual and curated feel. And the same design philosophy continues throughout the entire property. The hallways, for example, are done in a dark color scheme, but not in an old-fashioned or depressing way. It's more of a modern boutique-style darkness. And near the elevators there are small seat-in areas with stools and decorative elements that make the corridors feel less like hotel hallways and more like small lobbies. The hotel also has a well-equipped gym. The only downside for me personally is that it's completely windowless. That's always a small disadvantage in my opinion, because I just enjoy some natural daylight in the gym. But let's get into the real highlight here, the suite. Walking into the room, you immediately notice how bright and spacious it feels. And just like the rest of the hotel, this room doesn't rely on generic standard furniture. Instead, everything feels much more designer-oriented and carefully selected. The biggest eye-catcher is the wallpaper behind the bed, which features this really cool rainforest-style pattern that instantly gives the room some character. Beyond that, you have a small workspace, multiple seat-in options, and a very comfortable overall layout. And in this particular suite, the balcony is another great feature. There are 2 chairs outside, so you can actually sit out there and relax a little, something you rarely get at many Hilton properties nowadays. The bathroom was also excellent. Very spacious, very clean, and really nicely designed. You get both a large walk-in shower and a bathtub. And very importantly, there's actually enough counter space around the sink, something surprisingly many hotels still fail to provide. But what really makes this hotel stand out are the small details. For example, the Do Not Disturb sign has this colorful sloth design instead of the standard generic template. And then there are creative hooks and decorative elements in every corner of the room. Even the complimentary water bottles have funny little labels on them. And instead of a traditional printed hotel directory or just a QR code on the nightstand, there's a digital hotel guide you can access by scanning a QR code from a small wooden cube sitting in the room. It's these tiny touches that make the hotel feel genuinely unique instead of just another Hilton. Overall, I really enjoyed the stay. The complimentary diamond upgrade definitely made the experience even better, but honestly, the hotel itself already has a ton of character on its own. The Canvas Moncton feels stylish, modern, creative, and much more personal than your average chain hotel. So if you're passing through or visiting Moncton and want something with a bit more personality, this is definitely a hotel worth considering. I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching, and here are 2 other videos you might find interesting.